For the moment, we've shifted our focus to these live images on your screens that is coming in from Nepal. Now, this is a Bangladeshi passenger plane that has come down in Nepal. You can see that thick cloud of smoke billowing out. And this crash is reported from near Kathmandu. Also, we'll get in our colleagues to get you more details on what we know about this incident so far. And this is a mishap that has been reported at the Kathmandu airport. It is said to be a Bangladesh passenger plane now that has come down there. We are still waiting to hear how many passengers on board, about their safety, the reasons. But what we can see through these images that are up on your screens is that thick cloud of smoke that is billowing out. And I believe all the emergency measures have also been pressed into action. Even as we look at these images now on your screens. And let's also tell you that this is an information that is just coming in through the wires, where they are saying that this is a Bangladeshi plane that has crashed near Nepal, and not sure about how many people on board at this point in time and about their safety. But as I said, all the emergency services have been pressed into action. The ambulances, the fire brigade, they are all now at very close to that site that you see there on your screens. And by the look of it, we cannot even gauge what is the kind of damage that has gone with this plane that has come down there in Nepal. But these are latest visuals on your screens now that we are getting to you from that airport. All that we know about the plane is that this is a Bangladesh passenger plane. And this is a plane that has crashed at the Nepal's Kathmandu airport is what we can see. But at the moment, what we can tell you is that all emergency measures are being pressed into service to ensure the safety of all those who are on board. And Reuters, in fact, says that this is a Bangladesh passenger aircraft that became unstable while descending, and it crashed at the Nepal's Kathmandu airport. And this belonged to the US Bangla Airlines is what we are hearing as far as the initial information that is just started to trickle in. And do appreciate that this is a developing situation there, but there is a heavy cloud of smoke that continues to billow in those images that we can see. For the moment, there is still no word about the safety of those who were on that plane, but it reported some fault, after which it became unstable is what we can tell you. And while descending, then it crashes at the Nepal's Kathmandu airport. More images on your screens, and let's also get in our colleague Aditya reporting on that for us. Aditya, what is the latest on the safety of those who were on board the plane?
Well, as of now, I've just spoken to a reporter down there, and officials also locally stating that they are trying to control the fire. The firefighters have reached the spot. There are 72 passengers on board this Bombardier Dash 400 aircraft, which was being operated by US Bangla Airways. As I mentioned, it was perhaps trying to take off from the Kathmandu airport, and the condition of passengers is absolutely unknown right now. We are only being told that the firefighters are trying to douse the fire. It actually skidded off the runway. That's what we are being told that led to it crashing. This is a horrific incident that we are reporting on. We've accessed images from the spot in Nepal, where we can see thick smoke on the sky, where in fact this crash has in fact taken place. In fact, just adjacent to this particular aircraft, just meters away, is a Jet Airways plane as well. This is a photograph that we have just accessed. I can describe the visuals of actually firefighters reaching the spot. There's thick black smoke in the sky, and there's a Jet Airways plane just meters away from it. Of course, there is a safe distance, but as of now, firefighters are trying hard to save the lives. There are 72 passengers, including the crew and the pilots on that particular plane. This is a very fluid situation that we are reporting on. Flight which crashed at Nepal's Kathmandu airport belonged to US Bangla Airways. That's what we have been reporting on. It's a very fluid situation. We'll try and get in touch with some local officials and journalists in Kathmandu as well to find out more about what exactly is transpiring right now, but the latest that we have gathered is that the firefighters are trying their best to douse this fire that led to there was a minor incident where the flight skidded off the runway, and that led to this entire disaster.
Yes, and Aditya, we do appreciate that this is still a developing situation. The reason why, we need to be extremely cautious with the kind of information trickling in. But, online, there are certain reports indicating that about 14 people have been rescued from the site, including 4 crew members. And also all the emergency services now have been pressed into action. What is it that you're hearing?
Absolutely. That's what we have been hearing, that some of the passengers have been rescued right now. But this is a very fluid situation that we are reporting on. US Bangla Airways plane has in fact skidded off the runway and has crashed. There's a massive fire that the flight has caught right now. And in fact, the initial reports indicate there's massive thick air, of smoke across that entire area. The firefighters are trying hard to rescue all people. There are some unconfirmed reports of at least 14 people being rescued. We've actually a small video also of this particular area where we can see, some aircraft, flying very near to this exact location, but there is still thick smoke. And this is an international airport in Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, India's neighbor, where this unfortunate incident has happened. The safety of all passengers officially is not confirmed right now. That's what we're being told. But the latest is that the firefighters are trying their best to douse the fire, which happened just minutes ago when this particular flight skidded off the runway. And in fact, there were efforts to that there shouldn't be some disaster or a major crash, major tragedy perhaps has been averted. But as of now, we are waiting for any official confirmation on all the 72 passengers being rescued to safety. As of now, reports trickling in that 14 passengers have been rescued as of now.
Yes, and Aditya, we continue to get in more images, more videos now that we are playing out on our screens, but still there is no clarity about, passengers on board and the condition of the flight, even as I speak. But the Associated Press here, Aditya, says that the passenger plane caught fire while landing at the Kathmandu airport. The reason why, we are looking at that thick cloud of smoke now billowing out in this video that we are playing out on our screens, Aditya.
Absolutely. I'm trying to, gather some more information from local reporters and officials there. I'm being told that a particular number of people have been transferred to the hospital, local hospital there. We are trying to find out the exact detail as to how many, passengers have been rescued and shifted to the hospitals. Were they grievously injured in this incident? But yes, this is the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu, Nepal that we are talking about. And some of the passengers have been indeed rescued and taken to the hospital. The exact number is not clear right now. It's a very, very fluid situation at the international airport in Kathmandu. The firefighters and the emergency services have launched services and are trying to rescue people at the runway. These are multiple videos and photographs that we have accessed on the screen that clearly indicate that it's a very, very unfortunate incident, a fluid situation where the firefighters are trying their best to control fire, to control the thick smoke in the entire region, to restrict the smoke and fire to a particular region on that flight, and to rescue all the people, including the crew and the air hostesses and the stewards in that plane, to safety. As of now, no official confirmation on safety of all the passengers right now. But what we can confirm is that there are reports that a particular number of people have been rescued and shifted to a local hospital.
And Aditya, are there any more details coming in via the airline? Because all that we can pick up, through the social media are more details about this flight. And it says that plane was a Fokker F-28, although the online fleet list is still stating that it was 4 Boeing 737 and 4-8 are still being operated.
Well, yes, no exact official statement from the particular airline as to which aircraft this was and the exact number, because it's a fluid situation right now. We have accessed some reports that there were 72 passengers, but some others say that there could be much more also in that particular flight, because there are both regional and international flights that are operated from the Tribhuvan International Airport. They go to the other districts of Nepal as well, from Kathmandu, other cities, and even the hilly terrain, as well as the Tarai regions as well. So as of now, it's a fluid situation. The exact number of passengers which are in the plane, or the which exact plane was it? Was there some technical error that led to this? This would be a matter of investigation. A court of inquiry will be ordered subsequently by the aviation department in Nepal. But as of now, the priority for the emergency services is to rescue as many people as possible. It's a fluid situation right now. The incident happened almost an hour back. That's what we're being told. And as the images suggest, there was panic in the area. The officials rushed to the exact spot along with the firefighters and emergency services. A particular group of people have been perhaps rescued and taken to the hospital. The safety of all the passengers, unfortunately, is not officially clear right now. We're trying to get more details even as we continue to report live on this unfortunate incident in Kathmandu, Nepal, where this plane skidded off the runway and has crashed, and the emergency services are trying to rescue the people.
Yes, and Aditya, even as we speak, we're not just putting out more images, but I believe a fresh statement that has also been issued from the Kathmandu airport. Aditya, tell us more about that.
Yes, in fact, that's what we are being told, that there is a fresh statement. What the local media is also reporting is that the plane can reportedly carry 78 passengers in all, and also firefighters last were seen trying to avert the tragedy and rescue as many people as possible. There is a statement that has been issued now by the Kathmandu airport, Dhaka, on the entire flight crash. We'll be bringing that statement out and the details of that particular statement as to what the situation right now really is. We are awaiting that particular statement from the Kathmandu International Airport, giving details of what exactly happened. But the last that we have heard from the airport officials is that there were rescue efforts that were on in that entire region. And, there were multiple photographs that we have accessed. Also, we can see the plane completely damaged. In fact, the passenger area of that plane has been completely damaged in these photographs and videos that we have accessed. We can see firefighters alongside the plane who are trying to rescue the people. It is certainly a very gory images also, because most of the plane is completely damaged in this unfortunate crash that happened at the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu, Nepal. We can only see the front portion and the back wings of the plane in these photographs. The middle portion is completely gutted and destroyed in this unfortunate crash. It's a tragedy. We do not know about the casualty figures right now. We will not speculate till there is an official figure. But yes, we're being told that on the Kathmandu flight crash, there's a statement that's being issued by the Kathmandu International Airport. We'll be putting out details of this in a bit from now.
Yes, and Aditya, these images are definitely worrying, because, in one of those images that we've seen, you see the wreckage of that plane. But we will, as I said, wait for more official details to come in, considering that this is a live and a developing situation. The focus is to ensure that all the survivors are actually taken to safety as soon as possible, Aditya.
Absolutely, that's the priority every time such an unfortunate incident happens, and that too in the aviation sector, which is prone to, unfortunately, several such incidents, plane crashes mid-air or on the airport as well. Many events come to mind in the recent past and of late also, but unfortunately, staying with these visuals coming in live from Kathmandu, Nepal, we can confirm that this incident happened more than an hour ago, in which the passengers, there were at least 72 to 78 passengers. That's what we're being told right now. The exact figure is unclear, but the priority of the agencies has been to ensure safety of each and every person. Rescue mission was launched immediately. There were firefighters and emergency vehicles. In these photographs and videos that we have accessed, we can see a lot of action there where people, officials are trying to rescue people. But these are images that are very gory. These are tragic images. One can only imagine what the relatives of these people would be thinking, praying for their safety, obviously. But we are awaiting any official word right now because the photographs are not good, unfortunately. The photographs suggest massive damage. The photographs suggest there could have been high casualty in this unfortunate incident. The front part and the back area, the back wings are very much visible, but the middle portion is completely gutted. Perhaps there was a technical error after the plane skidded off the runway that led to this unfortunate incident, but that's what we are reporting on. This is an unfortunate incident that has taken place in Kathmandu, Nepal's Tribhuvan International Airport. And unfortunately, there could have been some casualties. We are being told that some people have been taken some time ago from the airport to, in fact, a nearby hospital. They've been rescued.
Okay.
But the exact number is unclear right now. We're trying to wait for the statement from the international airport in Kathmandu and also the flight agency.
Yes. Aditya, I'll just briefly request you to please stay with us as we also want to get in the Kathmandu airport duty officer who's joining us on the phone line right now. Sir, thank you for speaking to us. What do we know about the incident so far, sir? Sir, can you hear us? Not sure if we have that phone line through, but do appreciate that this is a crisis situation of sorts. The reason why Republic is also trying to get you the word coming in from those who matter. We are trying to speak to the duty officer of the Kathmandu International Airport, and before we actually get him, these are more images now that we are putting out. These are the emergency services, as I said, that have been pressed into action. The ambulances rushing out of that rear end of the airport. And Aditya there is also trying to get us the latest as we are also now telling you of the first statement that has been put forward by the airport authorities. And the number of passengers on board, there are obviously conflicting reports right now, but they indicate the passengers could be anything between 68 to 72. Aditya, what is the latest that you've been able to gather?
Well, we are still trying to gather more details on the exact nature of this entire incident, which is obviously very unfortunate. But there are, different reports coming in. Some say that the capacity of that plane was 78. Some say there was much more, in number that people could be accommodated inside that particular plane. And there are other reports that there were 72 passengers and crew on board that particular flight. But we are awaiting a statement from the local government there as to what led to this incident and have the people really been rescued. But as of now, it's a very fluid situation where rescue efforts have been launched. The photographs are not good at all. They suggest heavy destruction of that plane completely. It was owned by a US Bangla, perhaps a joint venture. And unfortunately, this plane crash took place some time ago. The plane skidded off the runway, perhaps during takeoff or landing. That's what we're being told. And in a bit from now, there will be an official statement on the number of people who've been rescued or whether or not there are any kind of casualties. But certainly, there'll be a court of inquiry which will be ordered, which will give detailed results of the inquiry and what led to this unfortunate incident. Something really to worry about right now, but we are awaiting an official statement in some time from now.
Yes, and Aditya, I'm not sure whether you're able to see these images on our screens or not, but if you can, please, describe to us the real spot where this plane crash landed, because I believe it's the east end of the international airport, Aditya.
Yes, this is the east end of the international airport, and now the latest reports that we are gathering from the aviation sector here in India is that some flights that were flying to Nepal are being diverted. I have a latest report that a Qatar Air 646 has been diverted to Calcutta, and Etihad Abu Dhabi Kathmandu flight has been diverted to Lucknow, and an Air India Delhi Kathmandu has been put on standby in New Delhi itself. These are the latest reports that we are gathering. At least 3 flights that had to land in Kathmandu have been diverted to Kolkata, Lucknow and New Delhi because of this unfortunate incident. We're gathering more details as to what led to this particular incident and what is the condition of the passengers and the crew of this plane. Of course, we'll be praying for their safety, but this is a very unfortunate incident that happened on the east end of the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu, Nepal. Not a very, very big airport, but certainly there are continuous international flights that come in there from New Delhi as well. And of course, this is an unfortunate incident where we've seen in these unfortunate photographs that most of that plane has been completely destroyed. But the firefighters have been able to bring under control the entire fire and the thick smoke that we could see on some of the initial photographs. But the condition of the passengers is what we are concerned about, and we are waiting an official word on the same.
Yes, and Aditya, again and again, it's important to remember that this is a developing situation, but the images there are definitely scary. And these are 2 quick updates, Aditya, that we are learning via the Kathmandu Post, which says that the Tribhuvan International Airport now has been shut down following the crash of the US Bangla Airlines, as you also rightly mentioned. And it's also quoting the Tourism Ministry Joint Secretary Suresh Acharya there, Aditya, who says that 17 injured passengers now have been rescued and sent to different hospitals for treatment.
Yes, that's what we are, reporting on, that 17 passengers have been taken to the hospital. They had received injuries in this unfortunate incident. There are also some reports coming in that this US Bangla Airlines flight BS211, which was flying from Dhaka to Kathmandu, was perhaps an old aircraft. Were there some technical difficulties in this? Was this really an old aircraft that was being operated? This would be a matter of investigation, really. But what we are being told is that this Dhaka-Kathmandu flight had landed in Kathmandu when this incident happened. Just upon landing, it skidded off the runway, and that led to it, catching fire. And there was a thick ball of fire, and that led to black smoke all across the region. Immediately, firefighting services rushed to the spot to rescue people and bring fire under control. It took a lot of time, but finally, fire was brought under control. But casualties as of now are very much unclear. We'll not speculate, but we wait for the official word from the Nepalese government or from the airport authorities there, who have managed to rescue some people. But the exact number of the casualties is very much unclear right now.
Yes, and Aditya, even as you, fill us in with the latest and we look at these images on our screens, our producers and our people, colleagues on the desk, in fact, tell us that there is a confirmation now coming in on the number of passengers on board, which is said to be 76. And we also now do know that this aircraft, supposedly a Dash 8 Q400 Bombardier, was about 17 years old, Aditya.
Yes, that's what I was reporting on. It could be a possibility that this was 17 years old, and that led to this unfortunate incident happen. There could have been some technical difficulties, but certainly this is a matter of investigation that will be investigated both privately and by the government as well. This was a Dhaka-Kathmandu flight, and minutes after, just seconds perhaps after it landed, it crashed because it skidded off the runway, and that led to this entire fire. We're being told that it was an old aircraft, and certainly if it is so, perhaps there will be investigation and some action also. But that is something long-term. Short-term, yes, efforts would be on to rescue the people. Okay. That's the priority. And we're being told that at least 17 people have been rescued and taken to the nearby hospital.
Aditya, for the casualties. I'll just request you to please stay with us, as I also want to get in the first word to come in from Kathmandu. Anil Giri Sahab, who's a local journalist, also joins us. Mr. Giri, what is it, sir, that you can tell us about the entire tragedy so far? Is there any official word that has come in either from the airlines or the airport, sir?
No, there is nothing from the airline side, but airport authorities have said that at least 67 passengers were on board and 4 crew members, okay? And at least 14 people were rescued from the crash site and taken then to the hospital for the treatment, okay? The airport, the airlines belonging to the US Bangla has crashed at Tribhuvan International Airport on Monday afternoon while descending at the airport runway. Okay, so huge smoke was seen after the plane meet an accident and caused fire.